and Nick.
Welcome to That Superhero Thing podcast, where we discuss the latest superhero and comic book movies and TV shows. I'm your host Nick, and joining me, as always, is my co-host and TikTok video creator extraordinaire, Anthony.
Hi.
You alright?
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
We've had a busy week on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, tell him, Anthony. Tell him what happened on TikTok. Don't make just me sell the whole thing.
So, I mean, on our TikTok, I wasn't expecting to get, like, a lot going on there.
Because we don't know.
I think at most we've had, I think it was 2,800 views on one video.
Yeah, just a little.
And that was like,
2,800.
it was the What If first trailer, that one.
Yeah.
And then this one, I got quite excited because it started to surpass the 2,800. So I was texting Nick going, Nick, this is now the top video.
Like
I'm excited
every
for
15 minutes.
It was the one for The Flash with Michael Keaton's Batman. And then the other evening, I mean, it had already been up 5 days, so I thought, like, the excitement of it had died down.
The excitement, though, people have been waiting for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up. You know what I mean? Anyway, so then, in one evening, it jumped from, I think it was like 4,000 to 7.5.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus. So anyway, next morning, woke up, 21,000 views on it. And I was like, what the hell?
Absolutely.
And we're now on 27,000, so
it's
officially our biggest.
It's gone from like 4,000 to 27,000 in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Crazy. None of the other videos are.
No. I've still got videos with only 20 views on there, you know what I mean?
No one else isn't watching any of the other ones. It's not that good. But it's a reminder, if you've not checked out our TikTok, go and check it out, because there's one good video on there. The rest is shit, but there's one good video on there.
Oh, I work hard on that.
No, they're good, honestly. Right, should we talk about what we're going to do on this week's show?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, as always, we're going to break down all the latest comic book movie news. So we've got first reactions to the Eternals, very mixed reactions to the Eternals, shall we say. We've got loads of Spider-Man No Way Home. I wouldn't say leaks, but it's not. It's just news that's come out in the latest issue of Empire.
Yeah.
And we've got the latest trailer for Master of the Universe Revelation, which is out next month. This month, depending on when you listen to it. Maybe? Yeah, kind of. Depends.
Well, it's out tomorrow, isn't it? So it's going to be Halloween tomorrow, which is the 31st of October.
Yeah.
So happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Yeah.
So it'll be next month.
It'll be... Yeah, but if you're listening to it on the Monday, we're getting into technicalities here. If you listen to it on Monday, it's the 1st of November. So
well, then that's their fault for listening to it late.
That's their fault for being late.
Yeah.
Just listen to it when it comes out. Anyway, we'll then be giving you our full breakdown and review of Netflix's Army of Thieves. And then we're not going to do a Podfans Assemble because... We've only had one reaction to Army of Thieves, which kind of begs the question why we're reviewing Army of Thieves, but hey, it's one of them, isn't it?
We thought it was a good idea at the time.
Exactly. This is also your spoiler warning. There will be spoilers and speculation, as always, throughout the episode. If you want to skip ahead to the Army of Thieves review, then we'll put timestamps in the description, as always. Let's talk news then. So, we'll start with the Eternals reviews. So, it is, at the moment... the worst rated MCU movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Now, I don't really put a lot of stock in Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
but
no, neither do I.
It's an indication, maybe. And as bad as that sounds, I looked at it and thought, well, what if it is? It's got a lower score than Thor: The Dark World on Rotten Tomatoes. Let that sink in for a second.
Now, I find the reality of that hard to believe.
I do.
So I am not convinced.
I don't see how it can be worse than Thor: The Dark World, because that was a poor film. Obviously, you know, if you've listened, we don't like that film. But yeah, I don't put a lot of stock into it. It did slip. It's at 60% today on RT. It slipped down to 59% yesterday, which meant it was rotten rather than a fresh rated film. The reviews I've seen, right, they're really mixed. Some people are saying it's absolutely amazing and you've got to watch it on the big screen. It's like absolutely epic. And then there's other people who are saying it's a bit boring and long-winded and not much happens.
Right. Now,
it's a 2.5 hour film though.
I get that. This is for me, the Eternals is a whole different kettle of fish on this. So I think there's got to be a level of establishment for them.
And there's like, as I've said, like 76 of them. There's lots of them.
What we've also got to remember is, apart from Shang-Chi, which only came out a couple of months ago, everything has already been established, so we've been able to jump into movies and the action starts straight off.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I don't know whether, because people have gotten so used to that format, that the fact that we've had to slow it back down to reintroduce a new group has had an effect on people's opinions. So that's the other thing that this is why I take it all with a pinch of salt.
Do you think maybe Guardians of the Galaxy was early enough so that people were kind of expecting to have to reintroduce characters?
I don't know.
But they did it quite fast.
Yeah.
In Guardians, when you think about it. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm not really bothered massively about the reviews, like you said, particularly not Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I've seen, it seems to be a lot of the critics who are saying it's a bit crap.
Yeah.
Whereas the fans, because a lot of fans did get to see it at the premiere, which kind of, when loads of, obviously the people who got to see it at the premiere, they are fans.
Yeah.
But they're not, by that I mean, they're not critics, they're like, YouTubers, TikTok stars. Richard, friend of the show, he got to go and watch it at the premiere.
Yeah.
So it was more fans. But I do wonder whether Marvel maybe expected not a great critical reception, and that's why they brought loads of fans to watch the film early, so that we could see their reactions as well. Maybe they sort of knew that the critics weren't going to love it.
Maybe.
I don't know how they know that, but test screenings and stuff like that.
Critics are all miserable sods anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and critics have ruined the film. Somebody from Variety has basically ruined the post credits.
Bad enough we had the guy from The Guardian spoiling stuff as well.
And Ghostbusters. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
so who gives a shit what the credits think? The credits?
The
critics. The critics. Who gives a shit what the critics think? Anyway, moving on. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's next week. We'll be seeing it on Friday.
Next week?
Next
oh my
week.
God, I'm so excited.
And then the week after that, we've got Shang-Chi again on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So that's good. And then the week after that, we've got Ghostbusters.
Is there a midnight showing of?
No.
Isn't there?
Not round here anyway, no.
So it's just...
I've booked tickets for... Because we're not going
morning.
together again because...
I've got a wedding.
You've got a wedding. So I'm going on Friday night after work.
I'm going to go Friday morning before I drive to the wedding.
Sound. No spoilers.
I won't.
No spoilers.
I won't.
No spoilers.
And
then we'll release the episode on Friday. Give everyone time to go and see it.
Yeah.
Because there probably isn't any midnight showings. Although, to be fair, it does seem like
do you mean Sunday?
Have already seen it. Sunday? Is that not what I said?
You said Friday.
Shut up. Anyway, moving on. Spider-Man, No Way Home. Loads of news. It's only 6 weeks away.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
But we've still only had a teaser trailer. There's still no poster. How are we not going to post that?
Do you know what, though? I'm okay with it.
I am kind of. I'm expecting a trailer.
They were talking about a trailer coming out with Eternals.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know whether that is going to happen or not.
I think it'll come out around the same time.
I reckon it will.
Because all this news...
From what I've heard, because we've talked about this before, the US adverts before the actual film are kind of taped into them on
they're
reel.
Attached. They're attached to the reel, yeah.
So,
not here.
From what I've heard, it's going to be on that reel for the US.
I don't think it'll be exclusive to cinemas, though. I reckon they'll probably drop it like the day before here.
Yeah.
But I feel like they would have probably hyped it up by now.
I don't think that... No, because
I think drop a trailer.
I think they'll just drop the trailer.
I'm not convinced.
Why?
Because I know what Sony are like, and I think Sony would have hyped it up for a week before it was coming.
No.
We'd have a date announcement for the trailer.
I think Marvel will have told Sony to chill the beans and sit down.
Maybe.
Marvel will go, Sony, look at the last 20 years, we know what we're doing. Pipe down, sit down, and we'll do it. Yeah.
Sit in the corner, do as you're told. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully. But the thing that makes me think that we're going to get something soon is because all this news, or a lot of this news, is coming from the latest issue of Empire, which came out on Friday.
Yeah, with some extra pictures as well, didn't it?
It's got pictures, it's got bits of information. So it's not spoilers, because I think we kind of already knew these things anyway.
Yeah.
Or guessed at these things anyway. And I think that if Marvel and Empire put this out, there's going to be a lot of surprises still in the movie. I think we're only sort of scratching the surface. So in the issue, like you said, there were new pictures. So there's some new pictures of Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Basically fighting Spidey on the bridge, which we already knew. The issue also confirms what villains are going to be returning.
Yes.
So it confirms Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe, Doc Ock, Lizard
and Sandman. Yeah.
And a fifth.
Yeah. They've kind of said...
Electro.
Yes. And then they've kind of said who's going to be the sixth to fill out the Sinister Six. Is it going to be Venom? They've kind of teased that again, haven't they? Without actually saying anything.
But I sort of kind of...
But they've also said it might be Michael Keaton's Vulture.
But why keep that quiet?
I don't know.
I think I would imagine that Venom's more likely.
I'd say Venom's more likely.
Surprise. I think if you were gonna drop Michael Keaton's Vulture in there, you'd just put it in there with the rest of the information about Lizard and Sandman at the end of the day. So I would probably guess it's Venom. That I'm quite excited about that. If Venom, not sure it 100% makes sense because Venom's not a bad guy, but
no.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, eh?
Unless Venom finds out that in this reality he's already been defeated by Peter Parker, so he's happy to join in with them to get Peter Parker for the fact that he killed that version of Venom. Yeah,
maybe, potentially. Who knows?
Who knows?
That's
it's exciting.
Thing. Even though we kind of know what's going on, we don't. We haven't really got too much of an idea. Today as well, apparently there's something, just literally read this morning, something come out on Reddit that someone's seen pictures of the costumes, which again confirms. So they've seen pictures of Tobey's costume, which they've said is basically just the same one from the Raimi trilogy, but a little bit more vibrant, a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 costume. Thank God, because that was epic. And then the Willem Dafoe costume, they've not seen the helmet, but they said the costume itself just looks like a battle-damaged version of what was in the original Spider-Man movie, which would make sense because if they're getting picked up straight from where they died,
you can't really change the costume.
It was wrecked. It's been like patched up as well with like elements of purple on it, and it's got like a bag, like a backpack type thing, like he has in the comics with his like his pumpkin bombs in and stuff. So that's good. But there's rumors. The rumors are that he'll have a hood, like a purple hood, like on the costume, like he does in the comics as well, which would be good because I quite liked the first costume in the It wasn't anything like the comics. Clearly, it was like a Power Rangers costume, but I'm okay. I want them to have that costume still, but that's the one that needs modernising. Doesn't it? At the end of the day. And then lastly on Spider-Man, Tom Holland was interviewed for Empire, and he said, I don't believe him, he's trying too hard to not spoil things now. He said, I honestly don't know if I'll return as Spider-Man. It's the first time since I got cast that I don't have a contract going forward. Of course he's going to be back as Spider-Man. Don't be stupid.
Do you think?
Yeah. Because
But isn't it going back to Sony after this, though?
No, Kevin Feige's basically come out and said that this is all now agreed. We're not going to have any messing about like this again. It's all done. It's agreed. We've got Spidey in the
I
MCU.
thought I'd heard that it was going back to Sony after the third one.
I think that had originally come out, but that's not what Kevin Feige's pushing at the moment. He's pushing the fact that it's all now agreed, and we're not going to have any stress over what's going on. Because that was horrible. That when it just got announced, he's getting pulled. That's it. Just ruined the whole basis of the MCU is continuity, and just pulling Spidey out of it would have been an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Sticking with the Marvel theme, then we've got some rumours, let's call them rumours. So a website called the GWW, which I'll be dead honest, I'd not heard of before this week.
I've never heard of until right now.
You've never heard of until right now, which kind of makes me doubt these bits of information, because I always think, is it a not huge website just trying to gain some attention?
Traction.
Potentially not. Well, only time will tell. But earlier in the week, they said that they'd got confirmation that we're going to get a solo Hulk movie. It's in production. It's going to be based on World War Hulk, which in the comics was set after Planet Hulk, and people from Earth basically destroyed Sakaar or destroyed all his family on there. So he came to Earth, and basically he was the bad guy in that story with a load of Hulks, pretty much. Yeah. Now, obviously, that's not where the story's gone, because he's back from Sakaar and nobody knows about it. So how they're going to go down that route, I don't know. It's just good that we're getting if it's true, we're getting a solo Hulk movie. Can't talk. Solo Hulk movie. Yeah. Because when we haven't had one for years because the rights were with Universal. Yeah. But apparently they're now back with Marvel, so we can get solo Hulk movies. The GWW is also saying that we're getting a Thunderbolts movie, which is in production to start in 2023. And they've confirmed that there's going to be a Nova movie, which has just been a long time coming, to be fair. I think we'll probably get something to confirm that in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. And then a Shang-Chi sequel, which is kind of obvious. Yeah. And a secret project that they're not allowed to say anything about at the moment, but they've got a bit of info on.
Oh.
So something we've not heard of. Well, that's not Thunderbolts and Hulk. So, who knows? Ghost Rider.
No.
I'm going Ghost Rider.
Right. Can I just also say... Oh, no. I'll tell you in a bit.
What?
Oh, about bloody Army of Thieves.
Oh, okay. We're doing it. You wait until we get to Army of Thieves. I've told Anthony not to tell me about this. Spoilers, Anthony had a dream. Yeah, you keep it here and listen, wait for this. I can't wait for this. I've heard bits of it and it sounds...
I feel like it's going to be shite.
It sounds epic, kind of. But yeah, we'll get there. Something we said last week, or which was kind of confirmed, but I don't think many people have picked up on it. Bill Murray is now confirmed to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Oh, okay.
So we talked about this last week. He confirmed in an interview, I can't remember who it was with, but it's doing his new movie that he's doing at the moment.
Yeah.
With Timothy Chalamet. We couldn't figure out how to pronounce it before. Chalamet, I'm going with. So he confirmed he's filmed an MCU project. Okay. And then the Cosmic Circus this week have confirmed that it is Ant-Man. But nobody knows who he's going to play. I still think Scott Lang's dad.
I still think Scott's dad.
And while we're on Ant-Man, I showed you this before. Ant-Man and the Wasp has got a new title card.
Yeah.
Or what looks like a new title card from the set. But it doesn't make sense. Either it doesn't make sense or they've changed the name from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania to Ant-Man and the Wasp Oobly Boobly Ollie Bolly Bolly Bob Bob Bob, something like that, because it's just a load of zeros.
It's like a load of set. It's a bit like, and you might not know this, but like in Doctor Who, it looks Gallifreyan.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because it's very set.
Crossover. Yeah. Doctor Who crossover. Or Klingon.
Blue box turns up.
So, yeah, I would
Quantumania.
would not surprise. I'd kind of love that just for it to be in the background while they're travelling through time.
Hilarious.
Right, so Army of the Dead news. We're doing Army of Thieves today, so we'll talk about Army of the Dead. Yeah. So the sequel to Army of the Dead has now been confirmed, which I think was one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood because we all kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be titled Planet of the Dead. Zack Snyder's confirmed. So I don't know whether that means the whole planet's going to get overrun or we're going to another planet.
Well, I mean, the idea was that at the end of Army of the Dead...
It spread.
Well, yeah, because they were supposed to have destroyed the whole quarantined area.
Yeah.
But then...
That dude got out
on the plane.
Yeah. So I'm going for the whole planet.
It's going to be Earth.
Gets wiped out.
Done.
Must be. He also hinted that Data might be making a return for the sequel.
That'd be good.
Which would be amazing.
I think
it makes sense, the fact that he's got his own movie, which we're going to talk about later, obviously.
Yeah.
He basically said that you didn't see him die on screen, so who knows what happened. And he's also hinted that he might, after he escaped, if he did escape Zeus, he might then go and break out Gwendolyn from prison. And then I know that's a spoiler for Army of Thieves, but he actually said that in an interview before Army of Thieves came out. So that kind of spoiled the ending a little bit. But yeah, go on, Zach, do what you want. As much as I would like that, and we'll talk about this when we get to Army of Thieves, he needs to break out Karina as well.
Yeah.
Because she was amazing. We'll talk about her though. Right, before we move on to Army of Thieves then, let's talk about the Masters of the Universe trailer. So, as we said, it is out November 23rd November.
I think so,
a lot sooner than we thought. We got a poster last week, which we talked about a little bit, but now we've got the full trailer. What did you think? You've only just seen it.
I don't know.
I feel like it's potentially given a lot away.
There's a lot of action in it, and it does like they've given a lot away.
Yeah, like big reveals.
Yeah.
If you've seen the trailer, it's obviously not spoilers then, is it? So He-Man's not dead again.
Yeah.
For the third time.
Yeah.
Which is just a bit crap.
Choices.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that at all. You killed him at the start of the episode, at the start of series 1, and then they brought him back to life, and then they killed him again at the end, and now they're bringing him back to life.
Yeah.
Again. Just leave him. But I'm worried because the first series, which we didn't know from the first trailer, obviously centered around Teela. It was her story, massively her story, and I think they did it really, really well.
I think they did.
It wasn't it didn't come across as pandering.
No,
it made sense. It wasn't trying to be woke or anything like that. Maybe it was, but I don't care. It was a really good story and it made sense. And we got to the end, and at the end of that series, I was okay with the fact that they were killing off He-Man, and now Teela was the main character, and she was basically going to be the force for good that was going to beat Skeletor, this super Skeletor. And it kind of feels like, because a lot of people didn't like that and kicked off about it, they've gone, oh well, let's just scrap that
and bring He-Man back.
Let's scrap that. We'll bring He-Man back, because Teela's hardly in the trailer.
I know,
and she's supposed to be the main character now going forward. I just didn't like that, and I don't think. I'm not convinced if it's come out this soon, because it was only a few months ago the first season came out.
Yeah.
That they've then gone and completely rewritten the series, because they can't have.
No.
It must still be whatever the plan was, but either they've planned to bring He-Man back and it's still going to be a He-Man story, or they're just making the trailer really focused on He-Man to try and make people happy to watch season 2.
Maybe.
And the amount of information that they've given us from the trailer would make me think that. Because we know he's back. They could have teased him being back at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with him being able to summon the power of Grayskull without the sword, which is cool, but that would have been a really good reveal in the series.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we see him then at the end of the trailer, not even in that, because he turns into like a savage version of He-Man.
Version, yeah.
I assume because the sword, he says in the trailer, the sword is the conduit, but I'm the one who gets the power.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the sword basically harnesses the power and makes it better. You know what I mean? Like more focused. Whereas because he's not got the sword, he's more of a primal, like you said, version of He-Man. And then it looks like by the end of the episode, he's going to end up getting the sword back.
Yeah, yeah. It just... they've given away far too much in that.
I think they have as well. It looks good. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish I hadn't watched the trailer.
Do you know what I'm most
excited about? So now
excited
we've spoiled
about?
it for all of you listening.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, spoilers, we've ruined it. No point in watching it.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Lena Headey as the villain, though. Like a full-on villain, because we know that she's good at being a villain.
Yeah.
But because she
I
was
really
doing
liked her as good.
I liked her as good.
I
did like her, but I'm going to enjoy watching this flip turn because she looks like she's the sorceress.
Yeah, she's the new sorceress because what's his name? Skeletor. That's it. Yeah, because Skeletor, God, it's completely gone. Skeletor's obviously now the He-Man. She's the sorceress. Yeah, and then it looks like Teela's going to become the new sorceress. Did the sorceress die at the end of series 1?
Oh, I don't even know anymore.
I can't remember her dying. I
think she might have. I don't know.
I can't remember. And then at the very end, Orca comes back as well. So the only other character who died.
Yeah, the fact that we've heard his voice
in series 1, he's back as well.
Yeah, I was just like, just save some surprises. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, that should have been He-Man at the end. The whole trailer should have been focused on Teela, like I said.
Well, he does that laugh with Skeletor, so if we'd have just like heard or seen the laugh from him, that would have been enough.
I know.
And you've gone, oh,
so sorry, we spoiled it for everybody, but
whatever.
Is what it is. If you've seen the trailer, it's already been spoiled anyway.
Yeah.
Should we talk about? Because I can't wait to hear Anthony's dream. Should we talk about Army of Thieves?
Should we start with the dream?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Right. So I started watching it last night, but it was quite late when I started. I think I didn't start it till 11:30, and then realised it was over 2 hours long.
It was a long film, yeah.
So I fell asleep after about 40 minutes. I didn't make it very far at all, and then had a dream.
Can I just pause? Right. Anthony's got notes on his phone.
Because you forget your dreams, they're bad. And I actually, because my mate was...
Did you just wake up and write it down?
No, because my mate was in it. I texted him.
Oh, okay.
And told him about it.
I had a dream about you last night.
Yeah. Well, I started it with... So I had a zombie dream last night.
About you.
About you. No. Right, so...
Yeah, go on.
I asked you before, have you ever played Fable? And you said you loved it.
Yes.
So it was like a cobblestone kind of seaside town, a bit like New Asgard meets Fable, if that makes sense.
I love the level of detail. Go on.
And this is where I was living, I think. I don't really know. Anyway, we start hearing like this commotion outside. So I run to the door, check it, and there's like hordes of people coming over the bridges and stuff like that and starting to attack everybody. So we were like, my whole family's in this, by the way. So we were like, get in the car, we'll go in.
So there's cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So everyone's like being attacked and eaten on the dock. So everyone went to the car and we ran back to grab like whatever essentials we could, me and my mate. And as I was packing, this girl just busts through the door and like jumped on me, so I fell back.
A zombie girl?
Yeah, a zombie girl.
Yeah.
I felt she must have only been about 15, 16. I feel really bad about what's about to happen.
Like the kid who he sees in the zombie dream in the first one. In the movie,
so she literally like dived onto me, and I fell onto the bed. So she's on top trying to bite me. So I like grabbed her neck, and then kind of like threw the pair of us off the bed so that I was then the one on top and she's on the floor.
Yeah,
and I grabbed a knife, stabbed her in the chest twice. And she didn't die, obviously. So then I stabbed her square in the forehead, and she died.
Amazing.
And then
you're keeping up with this, listeners, yeah? We've set the scene.
So we then grabbed the stuff and tried to like get out of there as quick as we could. So me and my mate got in separate cars and followed one another.
Why?
I don't know why we got in separate ones.
Okay.
This is part of the dream where shit doesn't make sense, does it?
This is the part of the dream where things don't make sense.
So anyway, we're driving and he went a different way to me, and then so I was panicking trying to phone him, but obviously the world's ending, so the signal's gone down.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to be fair, AE goes down.
It was weird because every time I was trying to ring him, there were people in other languages speaking to me. Now, I don't know whether Army of the Thieves was still on, and they're talking in German through a lot of the film.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether I could hear
still
that.
Listening it.
And that's like what was happening. But every time I was trying to phone Jack, I had these people like, Einstein, on the phone at me. And I was like, well, that's not you. Right? So I was panicking that he was going to die.
Sorry.
We're by an abandoned petrol station at this point. We've pulled over because we need to know where my mate's gone.
Yeah.
And then randomly, my uncle turned up on a motorbike with me nan on the back, which made me absolutely howl because I was like, what the bloody hell is she doing on the back of a motorbike, right? It was so weird. And we were going mad because it was dangerous. Sod the zombies were like, get off that motorbike, it's
not
dangerous.
Even got a helmet on.
No. She had a skirt on as well, if I remember rightly, which is just bad choices. Anyway, we finally turned up. Eventually, the petrol ran out on the cars, and we found a train leaving a town. So we jumped onto the train as it was starting to leave the station.
Had he jumped on the train in the movie yet?
Well,
had he jumped on the train?
I don't know because I didn't remember that at all. So
prophecy.
I don't know. I know. Anyway, so we're going on this train, and it's going round a coast, and so it's like the train. You've got the train tracks, kind of the rocks, and then like a beach, and then we start seeing that the horde's like climbing from the front of the train, coming down. So we're like, oh, get off this train.
Yeah.
So we jumped off while it was still moving onto the sand.
Yeah.
But then the water was parting like something out of the Bible. It was all like rolling back.
Okay.
And things started coming out of the ground, and I don't know for the life of me what it was. But then the army were coming in and carpet bombing the whole of the beach. So we were like trying to get out of there. Yeah. And then I woke up. That was it. So that was the whole dream. But there was so much in there. Like, I text my mate and he messaged me back first thing this morning going, Christ.
that sums up my reaction pretty well.
It was so weird.
Amazing.
But it was so detailed. Like,
I know.
It was a proper vivid dream.
Yeah.
But it was dead good.
I don't even know what to say.
I woke up tired. I was like, I've been running all night.
Oh my God. Right, listeners, apologies.
I told you probably wasn't going to be as good.
I made him tell me in the podcast. Will we leave it in? Yeah, no, definitely. Right, should we on that note, should we review Army of Thieves?
Yeah, okay. So that was what happened in the film, wasn't it? No.
That was amazing. Amazing. Right, let's do Army of Thieves. Right, so Army of Thieves then. Did we like it? Was it good? Did we enjoy it? You watched it in 2 parts. Was it as good as your dream? No.
No. I wasn't expecting it, to be honest.
To be good, or?
No, like I wasn't. I didn't know what to expect with it because obviously we knew that it was just as the zombie apocalypse is kind of starting.
Yeah, I thought there'd be more zombies.
I thought there'd be more zombies, and there really wasn't.
No.
It was all just early stages of us being told on the news what was happening.
Yeah.
And that they were trying to quarantine the Las Vegas area.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But apart from that, and apart from his dreams, which were essentially bits jumping forward, weren't they? To what
it was to a degree the prophecy, like Karina said. Yeah, it was.
It was basically completely like an Ocean's film, wasn't it?
It was.
That was pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah.
And even to the premise, spoilers, of by the time the police get there, everything that they thought was happening now had already happened 3-4 hours ago.
Yeah.
You know, it was that whole storyline which we've had before, but I still enjoyed it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It sounded like it was about to come out really negatively, that they've not used anything new. But I think
I think it's like quite a few things that we've reviewed recently, but similar to what we said about Venom. I don't think it was there were parts of the movie that I thought were fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. Like I liked how they'd introduced the zombies or how they brought them in.
Yeah.
I thought, like I said to you, I thought it was going to be more zombies, but then if it wasn't zombies, I thought there'd be none of it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was quite a good balance the way they brought it in. It made sense because it still needed to have a tie into the zombie movie at the end of the day, didn't it?
Yeah.
I thought the visuals when he was cracking the safes were amazing.
So good.
So clever. Because it's like, how do you do that? We don't know how to crack safes.
No.
I don't anyway. But we don't know how to crack safes. So we've got no idea what's going on. But by the time he'd cracked the first one, I kind of got it.
Yeah.
So whether that's how you crack safes in real life, I don't know. But however they were doing it in the movie, I got it. And I felt like to a degree when he did the second and the third one, I could sort of follow it, what was going on and what was going wrong when things went wrong.
Yeah.
And you kind of got it. But just the way that they did it, I thought was really, really clever.
Yeah.
But I kind of think I don't feel like it was a great film, and I don't know whether it was the story was maybe a little bit weak, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was so much fun to watch. Like, every time he was cracking safes, I was biting my nails.
Yeah.
Because it was like, something's going to
go
wrong.
And I loved his police chase on the bike.
That was great.
That was hilarious.
It was, let me go back, right. I don't think it was, I think it was the story maybe that was just a little bit weak.
Yeah.
I think the film itself,
I think
all the
it was
elements of the film.
too basic.
Yeah.
The story.
Yeah.
There wasn't any intricacy to it. It was just, here's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a straight line from the beginning to the end. There's no twists, there's no turns.
Maybe it was disappointment that it didn't tie more to Army of Thieves.
Army of Dead.
Army of Dead, even, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Army of the Dead had you on the basis of all these like things that weren't making sense, like the whole time travel element to it, and the robot zombies.
Yeah.
And I really just thought this was going to have more of it.
Yeah.
And sort of lead into it.
I was wondering whether the final safe was going to have something to do with the robot side of things.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So that he might have been a little bit aware, and this is knowledge that we didn't know that he had in the first film, which would have been a bit of a twist.
Yeah,
I thought we might have had something like that.
Yeah.
And we just didn't. It was just money. It was all about money all the time.
But it wasn't, was it? Because they didn't take all the money.
No.
They literally took like a bag of money each from all saves. It's like they said like there's
language.
Oh, sorry, I edited that. Look at the language in this episode. There's
language.
Fuck all money at 2. There's 3.
Language.
Fuck all money.
Are you okay?
There's no money in the safe in the first one. There we go.
Yeah.
There's no money in the safe in the first one. There was 40 million in the second one, and then there's at least 100 million in the last one.
Yeah.
And they didn't take.
They just took a bag each.
They just took a bag each,
Yeah,
and she did say it's not necessarily about the money. It's about the fact that they're doing, what was it? What was it called? The 4 rings or the.
It's something like that.
Yeah, the ring something it was called. We only watched it last night. Or Andy watched it in 2 parts because he was more entertained with the dream. But I kind of liked that idea of it. But there was just something about it that just didn't feel mega to me. But when I break that, when I'm sitting here now breaking down all the elements of it, there were a few weak points in it, in the story.
Yeah.
There were a few weak elements of the cast as well, which surprised me that there were a few weak elements of the cast, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But all the individual parts of it were great. It's just that the story wasn't solid enough, I don't think, to tie them all together. So that bike chase, like you said, and I've already said it, such a fresh way of doing it.
Yeah.
Because you've got to have a police chase in this movie.
Yeah.
And I thought we were going to have like a bit of a Baby Driver type car
so
chase, because we had Rolf as the getaway driver.
Yeah, because they bigged him up so much, and he actually did nothing.
He didn't do anything. I mean, he was brilliant. We'll talk about characters in a bit. But he didn't do anything with regards to being a getaway driver, really.
No.
So to just completely surprise us with the bike chase and it being Sebastian, which we'll talk about, that really surprised me, took me back. And I thought, it was good. I enjoyed that, And as I said, the safe cracking bits were amazing as well. Did you know from the Army of the Dead movie that he was breaking into this big... Can you remember that he was breaking into this big sort of like mythical safe?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't pick on it. I started trying to watch.
I remember that it was like, because that final scene that we saw in Army of the Thieves was the scene from Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
So that whole conversation was him saying, this is like...
Oh, I didn't...
You know, when he was saying the painting of Madonna that you'd want to...
Language. Yeah.
Oh, you got to do me out.
I got to do language, it's fine.
So, because there was that, and he said, this safe is the equivalent of that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that it was I didn't know whether it was mythical, but I knew it was massively important to him as a safe breaker.
See, I didn't get that. No. Okay. So when this started and it was like, this is this and this is the safe, and these are these safes and the story.
I knew it was going to be building up to that one.
No, I didn't get onto that at all. I didn't get onto it.
Yeah.
But so the story then from the dude with the safes, did he make 4 safes or 5? That's what I couldn't wrap my head around. Because they did 3. Yeah. And then the 4th one then is in the Gottdormerang or whatever it's called. Is in Vegas.
I thought he made 2 of those. One is the one in Vegas, and one is the one that he put himself in. Yeah.
Okay. So that's got to be coming then.
Yeah.
We've got to be getting to that then at some point then, haven't we?
That one that got sunk.
The one that's apparently been sunk, yeah. Because it's not the one that's in...
Maybe that's got all the information about what's been going on in there.
Maybe, yeah. And what are all the ties to Tanaka? And again, he's the one who owns all three of these days. Was it a test for him? Was it all set up by Tanaka?
I don't know.
To test him to go and break into the fourth safe, maybe?
Maybe.
But again, I feel like it should have made that more obvious.
But maybe this all gets tied up in Army of the Dead too.
Maybe. But we've got to get data back then, haven't we? We've got to get data back. The other thing that I really loved, and I think it was the moment where the movie really started to get going, was the safe cracking competition at the start. Yeah. When he got dragged to that underground club.
This is what I think now. So, you know that guy that was second?
Yes.
The one that was like essentially really terribly eye flirting with Sebastian all the way through it.
Yeah.
I was a bit like, is he going to try and bang him after this? Because it seems that way. It's a bit weird.
Okay.
No, but it was like dead intense.
It was a bit.
So I think that so basically at the end of Army of the Dead, we don't really know what happened to Sebastian. I think he's locked himself in that safe. So I think that the guy that came second is going to be the one to open him back out of that one.
He's locked himself in what safe?
In the big safe.
At the end of... He didn't know. He put Thingy in there. He put the other dude in there. That's how he survived.
Oh, bollocks.
Didn't he?
I thought it was the other way round.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, he locked him. I can't remember the guy's name. He locked him in the safe to protect him from Zeus. And then we didn't see what happened to Data.
Why did I forget that happened?
But he could have... he's obviously survived this somehow. But I know we're going off Army of Thieves here, but we're kind of going back on Army of the Dead here. But the whole thing was about... It came across as it was more about time travel, maybe. Because they were like... it was like there were original versions of them in there, dead on the floor. Yeah. So I just felt like... Again, I've said it, but... Maybe this is the thing that disappointed me about this movie, that I thought we'd get more answers.
Also, the third safe that they went to do, the whole room looked exactly the same as the one in Vegas. Did you notice? Safe.
I thought the second.
The lift
safe,
that came down.
That was the second safe.
Oh, sorry, the second one.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. Yeah,
it exactly the same. The whole room before the lift coming down, and then that section where it was kind of like a doorway, but it was
caged.
Yeah,
I get what you mean. Yeah,
it just, I was like,
and that's what
deja vu.
The last zombie dream that he had looked like it was set there. Yeah, and that was like a very, very, very similar to obviously what happened in Army of the Dead. I'm gonna have to watch Army of the Dead again.
Yeah, I think I need to.
To sort of try and wrap my head around it. Yeah. But I think there just should have been more. Let's talk about characters then, because that's what it was at the end of the day, wasn't it? It was another character-driven movie. Yeah. And I think that was its strength. I think it did a really good job of establishing the characters. Yeah. But I don't feel like that they were all particularly strong. And I don't know whether it's down to acting or whether it's down to maybe how they were written. It wasn't directed by Zack Snyder, this. I thought it was. Oh, but it wasn't. Okay. It was directed by Dieter Matthias Schweighöfer. He directed it. He wrote it with Zack Snyder, and then he directed the whole movie. And it did have a very different tone to a Zack Snyder movie, to be fair. But it was good. But if we talk about characters then, so we had Sebastian, which was Dieter, which confused me all the way through until because I was like, hang on, why is he called Sebastian and why is he Dieter when we know him? And that had me all the way through thinking, is he a variant? And I know it's not Marvel, but because we were into the timey-wimey stuff in Army of the Dead, I did think that, but then it got explained much easier than what you were thinking. But so Dieter / Sebastian, played by Matthias Schweighöfer, I think is how you pronounce his name. He was a very different character, I think, in this one. Very different. He was different, and I think that was really apparent to me when you got to that end scene. He was a lot cockier and a lot more confident and a lot more sweary as he was. It's like you wouldn't think in the way that he was portrayed in this movie that he'd swear. No. And then you get to the end and he's like, oh, you'd want to language the Madonna. Do you know what I mean? It was a very different. He was very, very different. And whether that's because of the experience he had at the end of the movie, potentially, but he just took it a little. It was a little bit too much of a jump for me.
Do you think?
Yeah, but I still thought he was fantastic all the way through.
So I just need to point out the first scene because I nearly weed
On the first scene?
Yeah, so when he does his video and then he scrolls through all of his videos and just sees that there's not a single view on any of them.
It's like our TikTok until last
Honestly,
week.
yeah. I think I was triggered. But honestly, I absolutely pissed myself. I thought it was so funny.
I liked it. I thought it was a really good way of sort of establishing it.
Because he still looks so satisfied with himself.
I know.
And he was like...
And that level of excitement when he got one view, he was absolutely buzzing when he got one view on the video. I love that, and I loved how I liked all the waves. Yeah, every time he'd wave. It sounds stupid and so simple, but just it's so like elaborate, like all over the place. I'm doing it, no one can see, but the waves, the screams. The constant random noises I'm putting together. That's your next TikTok video. Cut all the screams together.
It's the one where he was on his bike and he brakes really quick at the top of the stairs and he's screaming while he's on one wheel. Yeah, and nearly wet myself on that. It was so good, absolutely amazing. And I also thought when how many times did he spill coffee on himself? That was obviously screams as well. But when Gwendolyn first met him in the cafe, and she's like, I've robbed this off her and I've robbed this off him and I've robbed the gun off him, blah 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 blah, and he kind of like looks around at them all and he goes, am I being spunked? I was gone. Yeah, me too. I was just gone. And it's just like, do you mean punked? No, spunked. I was just completely gone. It was so funny. And then which kind of sums him up to a degree. The punch when he punches Brad Cage at the end. That would be me. Oh god. Oh, it's so good, but it just summed up his character. But again, it's like he was still that character at the end of the film, and then to jump from that to, and I know he was a bit wimpy and stuff, obviously in Army of the Dead. But then he was getting cockier. But this is the thing, throughout the film, I felt from where we saw him at the beginning to where we saw him at the end. He was confident in his ability and the safe cracking. Like the first one, he like puts his arms out, he's like, I'm invincible, and it just like his reactions to that was amazing. The fact that from the beginning he wouldn't have said boo to Brad Cage. No, I know. Yeah. Whereas then at the end he's throwing a punch at him, and it's like that. It seems like something so small, but it genuinely is such a big leap to actually throw a punch. Oh yeah. Like so. And then especially we've got a bit of a time lapse between him running away and having this job that he's now established. We've got like 6 months, haven't we? Did you say 6 months? I think 8 so. Months? Sometime later, I think it's actually. So we've also got. We don't know what happened to him between carrying on running away and getting to that point. So again, that's the next prequel. Character establishment there, isn't there? That could have lent him to being as cocky as he is by this point. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. He's probably been quite desperate and had to do a lot of things that he normally wouldn't have done to get himself into a comfortable position. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. So I don't know. But before we move away from data, because I'm just looking through my notes for data, going back to that scene. Now, was it the exact scene from Army of the Dead, or was it redone with Batista? I think it was the same scene. I think it was as well. Yeah. And it's again, I mean, I didn't even pick up on the fact that it was a big special safe. I thought, I knew it was I'd got on to the fact that it was like the toughest safe to crack in the world sort of thing. But I don't think I didn't pick up on the fact that it was anything special other than, I mean, it could have just been made by like Apple. Do you know what I mean? That type of elaborate safe. But he said, which made me question more, when he was telling them about the safe, he said it's a doorway to another realm. And I wonder whether the safes have got something to do with the whole alternate universe. And maybe the guy's not dead. Who? The guy who got locked in the safe? Yeah. Well, I'm wondering whether he's in another universe. What if they're shutting the safe? No, not Nakamori. What, Tanaka? Well, he's not, because we've seen Tanaka. No, I know. But if it's another realm. Well, I'm wondering whether he's a variant. I'm wondering whether the world he's woken up in at the end when the area had been nuked and stuff like that, maybe that's an alternate reality, because we're talking about like alternate realities in it. Maybe by getting locked in the safe and then it being opened again, maybe that has taken to another realm. Maybe the dude who locked himself in the safe
Maybe he locked himself in the safe forever because it was taking him to another realm where his kid and his wife weren't dead.
Maybe.
And that's why and that's why it was just never opened. Maybe on his end, he's gone in and he's opened it, and he's now in an alternate reality where his wife and kid. Well,
yeah,
that makes sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
See, that's why I like these films.
I just realised I said Nakamori, and that's Die Hard, isn't it? Is that Die Hard?
Nakatomi.
Oh, for God's sake!
It's all right. It's fine. It's what we do, aren't we? It's what we do. Sorry, it's what you do.
It's what I do. Cock everything
But
up.
yeah, I like that. Yeah, I see. It's not. This is the thing with this, and this is, to be fair, this is why we're talking about it on the podcast, because it's obviously not Marvel related, but it's not just your standard zombie film, and this wasn't just your standard heist film. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah,
and I'm not convinced any of it's gonna pan out the way we think, and I'm not convinced that 90% of the questions are going to get answered. I think it's just very, very clever writing and directing by Snyder. Yeah, to get you questioning it and to get you hyped up for a zombie film, because there's been millions of them. Yeah, and there's been millions of heist films, but it's got you more excited and asking a lot of questions. But yeah, potentially. So talk about the rest of the characters then. So next main character was Gwendolyn. Yeah, played by Natalie Emmanuel,
who was in Hollyoaks.
Hollyoaks.
Off with.
That's weird.
Yeah,
seeing the fact
weird little soap from Chester.
I did because that halfway through I was like, this girl was in Hollyoaks. Literally filmed around the corner from. Literally, I work about 5 miles away from where Hollyoaks is filmed. Yeah, and it's just weird that she's doing all this like Hollywood. And then, she was
in Game of Thrones, wasn't she, as well?
And she's in the Fast movies as well. She's part of the Fast franchise. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Natalie Emmanuel is a great actress. Yeah. I think she's really good in the Fast series. She was really good in Game of Thrones. Yeah. I didn't really rate her in this, and I don't think it was necessarily her acting ability. I just don't think it was a particularly great character.
Yeah, I don't think the way she was written was the best.
No, and I don't get why. And again, I don't feel like because of how she was written, it necessarily made sense that Sebastian just instantly became like obsessed with her, because I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy like the link between the two. Yeah. And again, maybe it's because you got a lot of characters to establish in the movie. Yeah. But yeah, I just didn't. And that's not a dig at Natalie Emmanuel. I think she's great. And I think she did a good job with what she had to work with. I just didn't. I didn't really particularly rate her character. And I wonder whether, moving on to the next character, I know it sounds like we're not really giving her much of a shout, but she was, that's it. I just don't feel like there was anything special about the character. Yeah. You've got such other big characters in the team, like Karina. There's always somebody in a movie who steals the show. Yeah. And I thought it'd be Rolf, the getaway driver. Oh, yeah. I thought it'd be him. When I went into this, I thought, if it's not Data, because obviously he's the one who stole the show in Thieves, it's going to be Rolf. Who steals it? We'll talk about it in a minute, but it was Karina. I think she was just so funny. She had all the lines. Yeah. Just how weird she was. Like when they're all Data and Gwendolyn are upstairs having a chat. Yeah. Brad Cage and Rolf are having a conversation about the fact that he's trying it on with his missus, and Gwendolyn and Karina's just like dancing around, like having a full-on rave in her head. She was dead funny all the way through. So then we got Brad Cage, whose real name was Alexis Brashini, which I think is quite a cool name anyway, to be perfectly honest. I don't get why they should just call him like John Smith or something like that and change his name to Brad Cage. Don't give him quite an interesting name and then change it to Brad Cage.
Right. Can I just say, this was the point where I was pissed off.
Why? Because he was
watching Nick Cage movies, wasn't he?
We got another reference to Nick Cage though before that.
Did we?
Yeah, I can't. Oh, yeah, did we? I feel like we got another Nick Cage reference before we got the Brad Cage reference.
But I was fuming. I was like, why?
I knew you would be happy with that. I was buzzing with the fact that this guy idolises Nick Cage and Brad Pitt. And what did he say? He sees himself as if Brad Pitt and Nick Cage language and had a better looking baby, and he's him. Absolutely amazing.
I absolutely hated him all the way through.
Yeah,
which means that it was very good writing.
I agree,
because that's the whole point. He was supposed to be an absolute dick all the way through, and he nailed it. When he let Dieta go on the back of the, oh my god, I was so angry. But
I didn't necessarily. I don't think I hated him until that point.
No, I did already. It was really annoying the shit out of me.
I didn't. You're so
arrogant. Like, just the way he was looking. Like, he was seeing Dietra as a threat because he wanted Gwendolyn.
Well, he had her. They were going out. Weren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, and so
I didn't think until
the
that
fact
point.
that he was so threatened by this little nerdy, unsure of himself guy showed how insecure he was, and it made me even angrier.
I didn't see the story going that way though. I thought he was going to get like a bit of a. I thought he was going to sort of see the error of his ways and become good. Not good because they're obviously a bunch of criminals. But I thought he was going to sort of end up appreciating Data and being okay with it. That's where I thought his story arc was going. So it really surprised me when he dropped him out the back of the van. It was, I think, the fact that he went in when they were trying to rob that second safe and cause all that commotion and got shot. Yeah, I thought he's not that bad a dude because he's potentially sacrificing himself here so that Data and Gwendolyn can get out. Yeah, and that's how I read the situation. And when when that old fella came with the real gun, because he was only knocking people out, wasn't he, with tranquilizer darts?
Yeah, because the policeman was dead funny at that point. His little cameo role when the policeman comes in and was like, "Yeah, and they only shot everyone with tranquilizers, cool. So no one got hit." It was pretty cool. Yeah. And the FBI guy's like,
but I was like not worried about him, but when the old security guard had the real gun and he was trying to shoot him, I was like, oh no, he's not even done anything that bad and stuff like that. And then he dropped Data, and I thought you should have shot him. I wish he got you.
I was actually really upset about that scene with the old guard, just watching him getting punched repeatedly. I suppose that really hit me a little bit because I thought he's probably only 6 months away from retirement. He just wants to live his life with his wife in the little white picket fence house. And he's been smashed in the face repeatedly by a guy with a mask.
They're always 3 days off retirement. I was just surprised he didn't get that mentioned. That he's nearly retired. Poor dude. But he only hit him in the face. He didn't kill him, did he? I know it's still bad.
Go and punch a pensioner in the face and see how they feel.
No, I know. It's horrible. But, I suppose you've got to look at it. I'm looking at it from his... I'm defending him here. I'm defending Brad Cage, my idol. I'm defending him because... He'd gone in, to be fair, with tranquilizer darts. He had no intention of killing anybody. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't hurt anybody. And then this dude... And he had a gun. He had a gun with bullets.
He shot the shotgun at the man
only after he'd shot him through the shoulder. That was the old dude.
But it was only his face sticking out the window, so he was...
No, I know. And I suppose that's the point. That's the point where it did turn to going from kind of self-defense to not. But you got to think, he had the gun the whole time. And this old dude was coming at him with a gun. He could have just shot him straight away. He didn't. He tried to knock him out. So it's better than just shooting him in the head. Yeah. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but he could have shot him in the leg.
Surely. So hang on. So you're not okay with him punching him in the nose, but you're okay with him shooting him in the leg?
No, but like...
Don't do the face.
Like, I feel...
You can't hit him in the face. Shoot him in the
cut
leg.
A shot in the leg is...
Cut his leg off.
It's so fast and stuff, whereas... being punched repeated, it's just... I think it's just so much angrier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, let's agree to disagree.
So hang on, you'd rather get shot in the leg than get punched in the nose?
Yeah.
What?
Because once you've been shot, it's over. It's done.
Yeah,
whereas
literally.
If you keep getting punched
in
the face, like, you don't know when it's going to end.
It's
in the leg, you're not going to die. Obviously, if it's in the femur where you've got, like, a main artery, then yeah. But I'm talking about, like, the lower leg or the foot.
So you'd rather have your kneecaps taken out?
No, look, right, you're making this more dramatic.
I'm not! I just don't get it. You're
talking about
shot.
Kneecaps being taken out. I'm just talking about a little shot in the leg.
Yeah, easy. Just easy shot in the leg of your foot. You never walk again, but, don't want to break your nose. It's so stupid. It doesn't make sense.
It does in my head.
Anyway, moving on. Last member of the team, quickly, because I'd rather get shot. Ralph. We've talked about Ralph, played by Guz Khan.
So much potential, completely wasted.
Yeah. Good British comedian. Seen him in a few bits. And I was dead impressed. I was proud isn't the word, but I was dead impressed when I saw the fact that he was in it. Because I've seen him doing like stand-up on like Comedy Central in the UK and stuff.
Well, it was nice in general that we had a couple of UK people in there.
To be fair, it was that they all. It seems like half the actors in Hollywood and in the MCU are British. To be fair, but they never actually go British. Do you know what I mean? It was
I know.
American
That's
accent.
what I mean. Yeah.
He was good though. His obsession with sandwiches and food was boss. The fact that he was like, when they were trying to explain it to Data, he was like, "Look, we already know this. Can we go and play Mario Kart?" And the fact that he wasn't bad. Yeah. It's like even when Brad went nuts at the end and
is it too late to chase that?
Literally, as he's got a gun pointing at him.
It made me laugh.
But I feel like they should have done more with that character at that point, though.
Yeah.
There were a couple of moments at that time when he could see that he wasn't happy with what's going on. He's like, "Oh, we're just going to scare them, aren't we? And we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. We're not going to hurt them."
Yeah.
I feel like he should have stood up to Brad at some point.
Yeah.
But he didn't. But to be fair, if the payoff was that is it too late to switch sides? I'm kind of alright with it. But yeah, as I said, sort of wrapping it up, I did really enjoy it. There was just, I don't know what it was. I can't even explain it.
It feels like there was something missing.
It does, but I don't know what.
No, I don't know what.
I don't know what it was that was missing.
Maybe more zombies.
I don't know.
I genuinely don't know what it was, but there was an element that wasn't there. I can't put my finger on it, but there was something just... I don't know whether it was just that little bit more complexity within the story.
It's not... It's like, if you... maybe. If you take all the elements of the movie, and some of the characters weren't particularly strong, but you're never going to get a movie where you've got like an ensemble cast where everybody is like 100%.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a weak element to it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Natalie Emmanuel was particularly weak. I think she was probably just the weakest element of the cast. Again, not her, the character that she was given to work with.
Yeah.
But taken apart.
I think the problem with... I think I know what the problem might have been with her, is that everyone around her had a humorous element about them, whereas she was very much quite serious. And I don't know whether that played to maybe like a...
Not necessarily a comedy element, but a gimmick.
Yeah. Because...
They were all very strong characters with things that you'd really remember. Do you get what I mean?
That were funny. And I think, not necessarily ha-ha funny, but the Brad Cage, the whole aura of him, the fact that he's like the Nick Cage, Brad Pitt thing.
Yeah.
Then you've got the sandwiches for, what's his name? The
Rolf.
driver, Rolf.
Yeah.
And then I just think everybody had their own little thing, but she didn't have anything.
She had the hairstyles.
She had
a different hairstyle in every shot, every scene. I swear, I didn't even notice. The camera would pan away and it'd pan back, and she'd have a different hairstyle.
But yeah, she just didn't have that like you said. Gimmick. I think that's what was missing for her.
But that proves that it wasn't the actor. It wasn't her as an actress. It was the fact 100%. That there was nothing written for her to make her sort of stand out when you've got such strong
and especially
characters.
When she's responding to things like, "Am I being spunked?"
Yeah.
And she just shut it down straight away. We laughed at it, but she's like...
But she was... I know we've sort of talked...
It's not her fault.
No.
It's the writing.
But she was an absolute badass. She took out those two security guards, on her own. No, I know she had a gun, but she didn't shoot him.
No.
It was literally hand to hand.
Yeah.
She was really good. It was very Kingsman-y.
Yeah.
All the fight scenes. Because she had a couple, didn't she? She took out the other two security guards when they robbed the safe at the end.
Yeah.
And I think... I thought we were wrapped up, but we're not. Are you getting a bit bored of that type of film? Are you getting a bit bored? I'm getting... Not bored, maybe not. I feel like before we got Kingsman...
Yeah.
Which was, 5, 6, 7 years ago now, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Something like that. Before we got Kingsman, if you had an action film...
Yeah.
And you had a fight scene in the film, it was... tense music, dramatic music, orchestral music, something like that. And then Kingsman got this thing and they did, and Matthew Vaughn, which is brilliant, said, "Nah, I don't need to have, tense music, dramatic music or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a fight scene and I'm going to play Elton John, Saturday Night Is Alright for Fighting, over the top." Do you know what I mean? And it's this is brilliant, this. But it now feels like every film does that. Yeah. Every film now, when you have a fight scene, puts funny ha-ha music over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do. Even the Marvel films, I feel, have gone a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And maybe we're just getting a bit bored of it.
Yeah.
I feel like if this hadn't come out, if we didn't have Kingsman and this had come out and we had the comedy action scenes like we have in this, I think maybe we think a lot more of it.
Yeah.
But it feels a little bit samey.
Yeah.
Maybe. Before we wrap up, then, we're not doing a Pod Fan December, but we did have one. Nathan, thanks Nathan for getting in touch. He said, "It was good. I think it was good. Same as us. I enjoyed it as a Netflix movie, but if I were to have paid to watch it in the cinema, I would have been disappointed. It felt confused.
Fair.
Was it a heist movie or a comedy? I was expecting Ocean's 11 and got Hot Fuzz."
Oh, okay.
Maybe Hot Fuzz did it before Kingsman?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Thanks Nathan, but maybe maybe that's why people haven't got in touch with the Podfans Assemble, because people are like, do I like it or not?
Yeah, maybe.
Don't know. I enjoyed it though. It's good.
Yeah,
It was good. It was good.
it was entertaining.
Right, should we do the wrap up?
Yeah.
Right, so thanks for listening to the show. Don't forget to come back next week when we will be doing Eternals.
Yes.
Sunday, not Friday. Sunday. Next
Yeah.
Sunday's episode. Cannot wait for that. I'm so excited.
Me too.
But, yeah, I think I'm excited. The reviews.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. You can find all our episodes at thatsuperherothing.com, along with all of our social media links. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course TikTok.
Yes.
You can go and add to the 27,000 views. Watch some of the others as well, because they need views.
Please.
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 On the website, you can also sign up for our email newsletter, where you'll receive new episode alerts and news on upcoming shows. You can contact us on any of our socials and submit thoughts and theories for next week's Podfans Assemble. I feel like we'll have some for next week because it's Eternals. If you've enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing the show on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser. I know we say this every week. It helps out massively. The more
really
people
does.
who subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Podchaser, the more people who rate and review it. It really helps us get seen by more people.
Yeah.
And then finally, patron shout-outs. So thank you to Geeky Nate, Kenneth, Keeper of the Sacred Flame, Stephanie, Richard, and Jessica, who's a new patron this week. So thank you very much,
Thanks,
guys. And thanks to Jessica for joining in. If you'd like to support the show like they are, you can go to thatsuperherothing.com/Patreon or patreon.com/thatsuperherothing. You can get signed up there. We've got loads of episodes on there now. We've got quite a few. We've got the MCU rankings video that we did last month. We've got the Liverpool Comic Con breakdown, which we're going to next month.
Yeah.
You can listen to the episode being recorded live on the Discord server, so go and check that out. And also, we are doing the monthly live watch parties.
Yes.
God, we did Howard the Duck last week, didn't we? We've not talked about that yet, because last week we said we were doing it. This week we've done it. Yeah, wow. I don't even know what to say. Go enjoy. Just join for what? Oh no, you can't. We haven't recorded it, have we? Oh, you missed out. That was it. It was the watch party was great.
Yeah.
The film was.
I think we've got to review it at some point, haven't we?
We're gonna have to cover it. We're gonna have to do a review on a bad movie review. If we get enough people want it, we'll do a. Does that mean I've got to watch it again?
I don't know. I don't know if I can. It was so
Genuinely,
bad.
I can't. I don't think I can watch the movie again. If you want us to, let us know. Let us know on Twitter. Let us know on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. It was so bad. And do you know what? Even if you've not watched Howard the Duck, go and do it.
Yeah.
Go and do it.
You have to have seen it once to understand.
Have a few drinks. And
God.
Or if you're into smoking weed, do that and then watch it. It's just the worst.
I think
thing.
you need it, to be honest.
I feel like I needed it afterwards. Next month we're going to do Spawn next month.
Okay.
Spawn. That's nothing's ever going to be as bad as Howard the Duck, like, but yeah, that's it. We're going to do Spawn next month. So if you want to watch Spawn on a live watch party with us on Zoom and our existing patrons, then yeah, go to Patreon, check it out, get signed up for a God level tier, and you can join in the fun. John Leguizamo's in it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, John Leguizamo's in it. He's that big. I sent you the trailer, didn't I? He's the big clown dude.
Yeah.
That's him, yeah. But yeah, so that should be good. Other than that, though, I think that's us for this week.
Yeah,
so thanks for listening, guys. See you
Cheers,
next week.
guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Quality, aren't you? Just genius. I'm so glad we included that. Right, let me get my notes.
I might need to become a writer.
Do it.
What happens? They come to me in dreams. Oh